And it's the 5th of March. Number of the day is an incredibly big one. It's also a very, very worrying one. 25,729, Francis heard. And I don't think I can remember a time when this many vehicles of such a big car manufacturer were recalled. I mean, this is a staggering number. It has to worry consumers. But also I wonder why. What's the recall for?
So they're talking about a potentially faulty handbrake.
Oh, wonderful.
So imagine you park on an incline, right? You're parking up a hill and there's a potential that the handbrake can disengage. They're talking about requirements not met in terms of the height. It's technical.
Yeah.
But the fact is your handbrake may not engage.
Of all the things in the car, that's not what I want to have fail.
No. Look, it's probably better. I mean, last year we had these incredible recalls. So you're right to put it in a context.
Yes.
Last year, I think Volvo, it was a few cars, but the issue there was that the actual brake may not work after you've been careering downhill for a while. That's when
Again, not confidence filling for me.
No. And some of these are life-threatening. So we are now talking in this specific case about VW Polo Vivos.
Yes.
And it really affects recent buyers because it's February last year to February this year.
Okay.
25,729 cars.
And it's important.
This is an issue.
It is a big issue because you have to also look at the Vivo, and I'm not going to try and go into too many stats. I might trip myself up. But if you look at where the Polo Vivo sits in VW's market, it's a very good car. It's got all the gadgetry, it's got all the tech. It should, in theory, apart from seemingly not functioning handbrakes in some cases, be a very good vehicle. But if you look at the LSM that they're going after, this is a very popular vehicle. It's one of the cars, maybe you're a student, you're getting your first salary, maybe you're downsizing your vehicle. It is the car that most people will look at because it's got everything you want for great value when it comes to financing this or buying it cash. So it's going to impact that market terribly.
Yeah, and I can't speak for VW. They obviously will have the right of reply if they wish on eNCA, but they had to recall cars last year. And like you say, this is an incredible number. To put it in some context, last year the AA was saying that 50,000 cars were recalled. And we were actually crunching the numbers at some point. The National Consumer Commission is coordinating these recalls. So they issue kind of a release that we pick up as media houses that says, the VWs have been recalled. We were trying to keep track of the exact numbers last year because there were so many recalls. They, on air, could not give us the exact number. They just, sort of collating the information and then releasing it. But the AA said more than 50,000 last year, and that represented a big increase. The broader context here is, what are the car manufacturers doing? Because there are signs that in South Africa, the safety standards are lax. And maybe the regulators have to put up their hand there because obviously if you enter into a certain European market and you have tests before the car even goes on sale, then maybe you'll do things better than if you come into South Africa where we don't have an independent body. And this comes from the AA last year, raising concern that we don't have an independent body checking the cars before they go on sale. So the car makers are then required to issue recalls if there are any safety concerns down the line, but that is down the line after the fact.
Yeah.
And we see these crash test results, so ad hoc every now and then they are done. And Toyota Corolla Cross, and this came out in recent days, 2 stars.
This is out of 5 stars. 5 stars the rating.
Yeah. And Hyundai Grand i10 0 stars, which means it's got like the basic safety that you
hope you want.
Yeah, but you want much more. 0 is just very poor. And some have looked at different cars being sold here and then being sold in Europe, and the safety standards are different. This is not acceptable, actually. And we've just had a whole lot of recalls. Takata airbags. Stellantis was the latest one in January. And under their brand, you've got Citroen, Chrysler, Jeep, and others. And they're using these Takata airbags, which may get moisture in. And then the point is that when they are needed, they won't work.
They won't work.
They will implode, and they won't keep you safe. So that is potentially life-threatening. So yeah, it's just stacking up. It's stacking up. But VW Polo Vivo's the latest.
And as we wrap this up for now, what the next part of what I think we'll have to unpack on eNCA as well is I'm not a Polo Vivo driver. Thankfully, in this case, my handbrake works. But also, if I was one, and I'm sure we'll pick this up in days to come, I don't know as a Polo Vivo driver, what am I supposed to do if there is a recall of this magnitude? How do I know if my particular vehicle is supposed to be checked or be repaired? Because now it's taking time out of my day, out of my business, my line of work, to go and see if the car that I paid good money for is supposed to be doing what it's doing. And then I think from the consumer trust perspective, from the PR perspective, this is going to be so damaging for VW.
Yes, and I'm glad you bring this up. So the National Consumer Commission, that again gets the recall information from VW and releases it, says you can take your car in and to any VW dealership, and they will do an inspection and they will do the free fixes. But like you say, that's taking time out of your day. And the AA and others have raised this issue as well. Sometimes the onus is on you to find out. People watching this may find out for the first time that their car is problematic. And in the past, the car makers have said, well, we try and get hold of people, but it's pretty difficult. But I think there should also be an onus on them to phone each and every person out there. But if you are a Polo Vivo driver, that is what we're talking about. 25,800 or thereabouts cars recalled, sold between February last year and February this year, stacking up the number of car recalls in South Africa of late.